The first important choice I had to make as I completed medical school was this: what kind of doctor will I be? Your decision to work with doctor clients is like my decision to attend medical school. One of the first things I do as I coach financial advisors is to ask them to choose their specialty. And I don't mean a medical specialty like cardiologist. I mean a group of your doctor people you call your tribes. This aligns with what you've always heard. The riches are in the niches. This is true in the medical market, and here's why. Doctors spontaneously share information with each other. Your end game is to become the go-to guy or go-to gal among this group. When that happens, doctors call you and ask, are you taking new doctor clients? In fact, I think choosing the right physician niche is one of the smartest business decisions a financial advisor can make. But here's the problem. It's not always easy. I was coaching a financial advisor who was exactly at this point. He told me he had a few dentists he got by accident, and now he set his intention to work with more doctor clients. I started asking questions to see if I could find clues, and then made suggestions, and the answer was nope, next. He said, look, maybe I'm just tired. The good news is that I have a vacation coming up next week. I'll come back recharged, and we'll make better progress. I asked, well, how will you spend your vacation? He said, I'm going fly fishing. And all of a sudden, he lit up. His energy surged. His passion came through. He started sharing highlights and stories from previous fishing trips. I said, I have a crazy idea. What if you connected with doctors who share your passion for fly fishing? He said, I love that idea. In fact, one of my childhood buddies I'll see next week is a pediatrician. I said, my hunch is that this could work for you. But before you fall in love with this idea, let's run the numbers so you can make an informed choice. Now, had I been coaching this advisor 5 years ago, I might have suggested he hop on Google and find out how many people fly fish, see if there are organizations or publications, see if there's a Facebook group. Then I'd help him create a marketing message. Maybe something like, would you like Uncle Sam to fund your next fishing trip? See how I help doctor clients harvest tax savings to do it. Now, this takes a fair amount of time and even more creativity. Still, you're guessing all the way, then hoping you've made a wise investment of your time. However, I have enough experience with ChatGPT to know that it can be a powerful thought partner. So I suggested to this advisor we try a little experiment. Let's hop on L, short for LLM, my nickname for my chat, and explore this opportunity to reach out to physician fly fisher people. I guess that's a word. So I told Elle that there were 3 of us in this conversation. I spoke in my physical voice, and Elle joined our Zoom call with her physical voice. Within 15 minutes, we had a complete picture about what the landscape of physician fly fisher people look like, how my client could reach them. We even started brainstorming about possible marketing messages. What could he really expect if he moved in this direction? Then I asked the question, will this campaign help my client get more doctor clients and drive more revenue? And over what period of time would this unfold? So by the end of this session, this advisor had enough information to make an informed choice about whether he wanted to invest time and energy in this direction. Today, I'd like to pull back the curtains and show you how my financial advisor clients whom I coach and I recruit AI as a thought partner to make better, more informed choices. AI can serve as your thought partner too. I want to show you 3 cases in which AI can help real advisors make real choices about their tribes. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Vicki Rackner. I used to be a practicing surgeon, but for the past 15 years, I've helped financial advisors grow their practices by working with more doctor clients. Before we get into these case studies, let me address some questions. The first is, what is a tribe and why is it important? When I use the word tribe, I don't simply mean a marketing niche. I mean a group of your people, a group of physicians who share an identity, common experiences, common challenges, and common aspirations. They're the physicians you'll spend years understanding, interviewing, writing for, speaking to, advocating for. Eventually, when you speak, they'll think, she's talking to me. Any marketing materials that you develop for one tribe member can be consumed by the others. It's like inviting people over for dinner and only making one dessert instead of 5 desserts. So you're not just building a mailing list, you're building a relationship with your people. And here's why this is a competitive advantage in the medical market. You can tap into doctors' natural propensity to share great resources. Your end game is to become the go-to guy or go-to gal among targeted groups of doctors who share financial concerns. As you gain more experience with tribe members, you get to know them very, very well. You gather stories that you can tell. That means that as you understand each member of the tribe, you understand all of the tribe members in a deeper way. It gives your doctor prospects and clients the sense, wow, this person really understands me and cares about me. The truth is that different tribe members have different temperaments and different financial challenges. Ideally, you choose the tribe whose members you genuinely enjoy working with. The conventional and easiest way to choose a tribe is to select by medical specialty, cardiology, oncology, hematology. Some financial advisors narrow the focus: women's surgeons, Black cardiologists, dentists of faith. Or you can target by career stage, like working with residents or fellows. However, there are lots more ways to target, including groups of doctors with whom you share an affinity. On Facebook, there's a group called Doctors Doing Disney with 2,000 members. If you love Disney vacations, now you have a natural way to connect with that group of doctors. You have a shared interest and an easy conversation starter. So here are 3 stories of financial advisors who wanted to color outside of the lines and use AI to explore the opportunities. The first story involves a financial advisor who recently asked me, Dr. Vicki, I'd like to specialize in helping women physicians who are either divorced or going through divorce. What do you think? I smiled because that wasn't the first time I've heard that question. In fact, I'd heard the same story about a decade ago. Another advisor told me that he'd helped a woman physician through her divorce. Her husband had managed the family finances. Now she suddenly found herself making major financial decisions alone. So he guided her through that transition, and she became a wonderful client. Naturally, he thought, I'd love to work with more clients just like her. So he told me he began building relationships with divorce attorneys. He told me that it just didn't work, so he moved on. Instead of telling my contemporary advisor, oh, I know an advisor who tried that and found it didn't work, I did something different. I asked Al, I'm working with a financial advisor who's thinking about building his practice, helping divorced women physicians. Help me evaluate this niche. Estimate the potential size of the market. Tell me your assumptions. Can these physicians be identified? Where do they gather? What organizations exist? What financial problems do they commonly face? Who influences them? What publications do they read? What conferences do they attend? How difficult would it become known in this community? Challenge my assumptions. So notice what I did. I didn't ask AI, should I choose this niche? That's my decision. I helped AI to help me investigate it. Now let's run the numbers. Can you identify divorced women physicians? Not easily. Can you buy a list? No. Do they belong to a national association? Not really. Do they share important financial concerns? Absolutely. Could you create a terrific report or videos? Certainly. Maybe it's something like 10 financial decisions women physicians should consider after divorce. So the problem is compelling. The challenge is access. How would you actually connect with the people that you wanted to help? This could be done, but it would require sophisticated marketing finesse. That's a very different conclusion then. It doesn't work. But what if you're married to a divorce attorney, or one of your divorce clients holds a leadership position and influences many physicians? That's something very different. Then you can say to Elle or your favorite AI, I have this relationship with this physician who has a large sphere of influence. Please provide 10 ideas about how I could leverage this relationship to get introduced to more divorcing or divorced women physicians. So you're running the number, you're gathering information, you're getting a sense about the level of complexity, and then asking the question, am I up to it? Do I feel so passionate about helping this group of doctors that I'm willing to do that steep climb? Okay, let me show you a completely different example. I was coaching another advisor recently, and we were talking about marketing tactics, videos, LinkedIn, the usual conversation. Then she casually mentioned that she had a koi pond, and her energy changed. We weren't talking about marketing anymore. She was talking about something she genuinely loved, and I love it too. I have a koi pond. Well, at least I had one until I couldn't figure out how to stop the raccoons from dining on my fish. So I asked, what if you could connect with physicians who share your passion for koi ponds? Now, before you laugh, let's investigate. Again, I recruited Elle. Help me evaluate physicians who own koi ponds. Now the questions became fascinating. How many physicians probably own koi ponds? Well, nobody knows for sure, but we can do estimates. There are about 1 million physicians. Koi ponds are an affluent hobby. Suppose 0.5% own a koi pond. That's about 5,000 physicians. Maybe it's 2,000. Maybe it's 10,000. We're not trying to be exact. We're trying to understand the order of magnitude. Now let's keep going. Do koi owners know each other? Absolutely. They belong to clubs. They share information. For all I know, there's Facebook groups for koi owners. They attend pond tours. They know breeders. They know pond builders. They're constantly asking one another for recommendations. Interesting. Now, what if one delighted doctor client introduced you to 3 more? Now we're thinking differently. Am I telling you this is a great niche? No. I'm showing you to explore whether or not this is a good fit for you. Multiple financial advisors have approached me about working with VA physicians. And I understand why it makes perfect sense to take a look at this. The VA is one of the largest physician employers in the U.S. The VA employs 26,000 physicians. They're easy to identify. They have shared financial questions, federal retirement, TSP, FERS, military service benefit. Excellent. But who controls access? The VA. Now we've got a different challenge. Not about market size, not about shared problems. It's about the institutional gatekeepers. And again, this framework doesn't tell you yes or no. It tells you where the challenges lie. Then you could ask Elle, please list 5 ways I could reach out to VA physicians. I remember a time when I went to the encyclopedia in my home to get answers to my question. I was blown away when I first saw what was possible with Google. This was the next level. The world was at my fingertips. AI is the next next level. And it doesn't just collect information more effectively. It can help you make sense of the information. It can join you and be a thought partner. Now, L or whatever AI you use is not going to make your decisions for you, but L will help you make better, more informed choices. You get better clarity about what's required to arrive at your destination. Let's say you wanted to go on a day hike. Not all hikes require the same preparation. So consider 3 levels. Level 1 is your neighborhood nature trail. Maybe it's a paved park or an easy loop around a lake. There's a marketing equivalent. Maybe you deliver seminars to doctors. You send newsletters to doctors. You post occasionally on LinkedIn for doctors. Any advisor can do it. It takes little preparation and there's little differentiation. Level 2 is like climbing. Well, we've got a local climb called Mount Si. It's a popular day hike. Good fitness helps. You need proper boots and water and a plan. Most people can do it, but it's not effortless. The marketing equivalent would be choosing a physician tribe and creating doctor-specific messaging for that group. This is where most successful financial advisors in the medical market live. Level 3 is climbing up Mount Denali. This requires training, specialized equipment, guides, weather awareness, and months of preparation. You don't wake up one morning and decide, hey, I think I'll do this today. The marketing equivalents are becoming the nationally recognized advisor for a certain group of physicians. The destination isn't the issue. Everyone wants to stand on the summit. The difference between these 3 hikes is the skill required for the terrain you're trying to cross. AI doesn't carry you up mountains. It helps you choose the right trail, avoid wrong turns, and keep making progress towards your summit. I help financial advisors discover the physician tribe they're uniquely qualified to serve and then become the trusted voice the tribe turns to for guidance. The advisor who builds extraordinary physician practices doesn't simply market to doctors. They commit themselves to understanding a community of physicians more deeply than anyone else. They listen, they learn, they advocate, they lead conversations that matter. Physicians notice the difference. Why? Because physicians themselves are driven by a mission. They've devoted years of their life to serving others. When they encounter an advisor with the same commitment to service, something changes. The relationship stops feeling transactional. It begins to feel like a partnership. That's the advisor physicians remember. That's the advisor physicians recommend. And ultimately, that's the advisor who builds a remarkable practice. The goal is to find your people, the physician community you're uniquely qualified and generally excited to serve. Goodness of fit comes from many places. Your experience, your values, your curiosity, your relationships, your personal story, your desire to serve. Only after you understand yourself can you begin looking for the physician tribe that fits you best. Would you like to give AI a try and see what it's like to make AI your thought partner? To help you do that, I've created a tool for you. It's called the Physician Tribe Investigation Kit. And there is a link that you can go to for a complimentary download. Inside of this kit, you'll find the exact prompts I use with AI to investigate any physician niche. Estimate market size, identify organization, find influencers, generate lead magnet ideas, and then finally, a physician tribe opportunity scorecard so you can decide whether this is a niche worth pursuing. But here's the best part. These prompts aren't just for choosing a new niche. They're for continually deepening your understanding of the physicians you already serve. Because the advisors who become the trusted voice in their communities never stop learning. They become lifelong students of their tribe. So download the investigation tip using the link below, then spend about 30 minutes investigating one physician tribe you've been thinking about. And then in the comments, let us know what happened. I think you'll be amazed at what you discover. I want to thank you for your time and your interest. If you like this video, there's more. Click here to see the next video that will give you some tips to help you be the go-to financial advisor for doctors.